Hey everyone, it's Lindsay from My Crafty Plans. Welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, welcome. Today I am going to be getting all set up in my Erin Condren family organizer for the month ahead, for the month of June. So this is my main monthly planner. I use this to pre-plan for the month, to plan throughout the month. I also do a bunch of journaling and memory keeping in here. It's just my central life hub, my central family hub, but I do use this for all areas of my life just about, and I've just had so much fun planning in here. So today I am going to show you all of my finished spreads from May, including all of the journaling and memory keeping that I did, and then I will set up for the month of June. We'll get my calendar together, set up all of my dashboards, start some structure in the notes pages, put some structure around the journaling pages, etc., etc. Same thing that I've been doing all year long, and this does take me a bit of time to get through all of the spreads in here. There is a lot of pre-setup that goes into this planner, but it's just a really fun time to get it set up, and then once it's done, I have it for the whole month long, and there's not a lot of day-to-day or week-to-week setup that happens in here. Basically, I do it all in 1 or 2 sessions right at the end of the month before, at the beginning of the month, and then just kind of use it and fill it out as we go. So it is June. We are going to be working with the color in the planner again, which is this nice kind of beigey, very, very neutral color here. And I thought this looks a lot like sand, which is perfect because it's June. It's the start of beach season. So I've got some fun Simply Gilded washies that kind of semi-match. I didn't have anything quite in that exact color, but we're going to kind of go with these sandy seashells as my main theme. I've got some other sandy nautical ones and just some complementary pinks and blues and different colors that I'm going to try and pull together a spread from. I've also got my colors for all of my color coding pulled out. This video is going to be sped up with a voiceover for the planning part, but before I get into planning for June, I am just going to flip through my May pages. All right, let's take a quick flip through my completed May spreads. At this point, I am fully closed out in here. I've done all of the journaling and memory keeping and everything, so we can take a look. Here is how my calendar turns out for the month. I absolutely love this. Really happy with the Simply Gilded washies I chose, and the color palettes, just really fun for May. Then we've got, again, our recurring schedule, our to schedule work projects, and my kind of goals and monthly tasks page. I don't typically track anything in here or cross anything out in here. It's just a really great reference page while I'm planning, because I do always have this planner on my desk, and I don't always keep my goals planner on my desk. That I just bring out once a week. So if I ever am thinking like, what's the big picture, what's going on in the month, I can kind of just look at this page, and it's just a really digestible version of everything that I worked on in my goal setting and everything that I've worked on in some of my other planning spaces, distilled into one page. Then we've got our little school area, our little kids zone in here. So we've got my school breakdown of projects and tasks that I'm working on for the volunteering that I do and for the kids in school, as well as extracurriculars, dates to remember. I had made like this summer checklist. I didn't end up using this that much, but I did just jot a few things down as we were getting closer to beach season. I've got my reading log for May. This month I did read a little bit less than I had the previous months. I just hit a mega reading slump after reading my first book of the month that I feel like I only finally busted out with my last book of the month. If you like fantasy and you have not yet read Fourth Wing, just 10 out of 10, cannot recommend strong enough. It is so good. I also really, really loved this YA book, which was Lose You to Find Me, which is a YA coming of age story. It is not a romance despite what the cover looks like. And I also really, really love that. Eric Brown is now an auto by YA author for me. That is his second book, and I loved his debut novel as well. And if you ever do want to hear more of what I'm reading, more in-depth descriptions, I do post a lot of this on TikTok, where I do usually like a longer video where I show myself journaling and I talk about all of the books I read, and then I also post a shorter version of that. I'll post it here on YouTube Shorts and on Instagram as well. It's just that the video time limits allow me to do like a 3-minute video on TikTok where I can just kind of go more into all of the books. But yeah, I've really been enjoying the reading journal, still really loving that. I tried expanding what I wrote about each book a little bit this month, so I will definitely be continuing with that. If you've got any book recommendations for me, you can always leave them down below, or if you've read any of these, you can let me know what you thought. I've also, on this page, this is turned into a full spread of memory keeping and journaling. So we've got the reading log, we've got a little journaling section here. I've mentioned this before, but I'm a sad journaler, not a happy journaler. So when things are going really happy and I'm having a great time, and May was a really great month for me, I feel like I have so much less to say in a journal. And if you like look back on some of the months where I was feeling a little bit more down, I like needed more space than this for the journal. That's just kind of how I'm wired, and that's totally fine. But I did just write a little bit of what was going on and how I was feeling. And then we've also got our milestones, which we had a really big set of milestones for the not a baby anymore, who is fully potty trained and now sleeping in a big girl bed out of the crib, which that part was facilitated by my mother-in-law. Actually moved back. If you don't know, my mother-in-law had been living with us for a couple of months while she recovered from an accident, and she's now doing super well. She's out of the wheelchair mostly and is back in her house. So we've been able to move all of the kids back to their rooms and everything. I did not use my listing a lot here this week, just still have some health stuff, a couple of Mother's Day notes, but I honestly did not use this that much. So then the next set of pages I'm gonna skip over. It's got pictures of my kids. I did also go back and do that for April, and I've decided to keep going with that. It's really fun. I've just done basically this style of spread. This was from Go Wild, but with just family pictures and from events going on. So in April, I have a lot of pictures from all the baseball games we went to and also from spring break. And then for May, from our first beach weekend and just some other random fun parties, birthday parties and different stuff that we had. But I don't share any pictures of my kids on any social media, so I'm just gonna skip over those pages. But I did want to let you know that I had started doing that and that was in there. And then to wrap up the month of May, we've got kind of our guided journaling section here. I think next month I want to try and figure out a way to make this look like more neat and cute. I've just been kind of brain dumping information in there, so I might do a little bit more strategy session and then fill it out. So we'll see how that goes. And then of course my line a day memory keeper. So with that, I'm going to throw it over to the voiceover for my June setup. We are going to dive into the calendar, starting with this seashell washi, which was kind of like my main theme washi. I pulled from the colors on this and just kind of wove this throughout the various spreads, and then we'll get my calendar all set up. June is just like forever more going to be known as chaos month. This is the end of the school year for us, so our school year ends mid-June, right before Father's Day actually is the last week of school. And so I know that's super late compared to other parts of the country. That's just how the school year runs here. It runs from after Labor Day until mid-June, and the transition from school, a short summer break, and then the kids starting camp the last week of the month just leads to very hectic. We've got like tons of end of year parties. We've got a preschool graduation, like PTA stuff wrapping up, a bunch of different summer things, plus we've got family coming in to visit and our beach stuff going on. So this is always just like a very hectic time of the year. By the end of this month, once the kids are settled into camp and everything, things will definitely calm down a lot, and then we can really just enjoy our summer fun. And we've got like a great summer schedule. The kids are all going to be in camp full time, which is the first time ever that I will have all 3 kids in camp or school full time, like full days every single day. So the baby has been going to school 3 days a week this year, and now we'll be starting full time, and she'll continue that into preschool for next year when she's in the 3-year-old class. So I'm really excited for that, and she's really excited for camp. Plus she's in like the big kid camp division this year. It's not really like the big kid division, but she's in the preschool division, not in the baby group. So they have more activities, and they do swim every day and things like that she didn't get to do last year when she was in the toddler room still. So really, really fun. And my oldest is at the point where they get to pick some of the activities that they do in camp. So they have like a choice period at camp, and you do like the same thing every day for a week or two. And she's really excited for that as well. They have like lots of good arts and crafts or extra sports or whatever. I mean, I'm sure she'll mostly be choosing arts and crafts. She loves art, but yeah, it's just really a good time. Camp is so much fun. The kids come home absolutely exhausted. It's a shorter day than the school day too, but the kids are just like so done after camp. It's very active, really fun. So really looking forward to that. and we've got a lot of beach weekends planned. Like I said, we're also really looking forward to a visit from my brother-in-law and his family this week. They're the only one of our like first cousin set that doesn't live in the Philadelphia area, so it's really nice that they're coming in. They also just had a new baby, and this is the baby's first trip, so also really exciting getting to meet my niece. I'm pretty sure this is going to be like the last niece or nephew that I get. I just think that everyone is done having kids, so this is really, really exciting. We have like a nice big family. My kids have a lot of first cousins, and they're all like right around the same age, which is really, really nice and just like so much fun. And not at all how I grew up. My first cousins were all either lived super, super far away or were like a lot older than me. So it's just really fun to get to see them all play together and you know, experience all of these things together. We spend a lot of time with them all throughout the year, and then especially in the summer. So I'm just putting all of our events in for the month. As you can see, it's quite a bit this month, and I'm still using the same color coding system that I've been using all year long. The only big difference this month compared to previous months is I decided to take my YouTube video schedule out of this calendar. I just didn't feel like I needed this in there anymore with the addition of the Laurel Denise planner to my planner lineup, which I've been using exclusively for social media, and how well that's been going. And I do tend to have that planner just like open on my desk all day long, so I didn't feel like I needed to have the video schedule kind of in there twice. So that is completely in my Laurel Denise planner. That video will be up shortly. I actually think it will be the video right after this one, so stay tuned for that. But then this is kind of everything but social media stuff ends up getting tracked in this planner. I love the family organizer. This has just become so essential to my planning. It's really been super fun for memory keeping. It's definitely I'm really enjoying this style of like journaling and memory keeping. I used to do a lot of those like super stickery memory keeping spreads where I used all the foil and like very decorative spreads, and they're very time consuming, and I just got very burnt out on that style of planning and memory keeping and was looking for something else. And I didn't think that I was going to do a lot of journaling or memory keeping in this planner. I wanted it more for the functional elements, but with that not being in my life anymore, I've really leaned into the journaling elements of this planner as well, and have just really been enjoying that. I think that this style of memory keeping is a lot more like family focused and kid focused, which makes a lot of sense for where I'm at in my life right now. I don't necessarily need a list of all of the things I did every day decorated in stickers. I am having more fun doing like, you know, recording kid milestones and funny things that they said and memories. And I've started doing some picture planning in here, which I'll talk about later. So it's just been a really great addition, not to mention all of the functional spaces in this planner. I absolutely love. I'm such a monthly planner person, so like the calendar is really essential to me, and then all of this really great dashboard space, which is what I'm working on right now. This one is the recurring schedule. I really like this, but this month, because we're in this weird transition, I have almost nothing that is a recurring schedule, just because like the kids don't have school this whole month. They don't have camp this whole month. There's not like a really great schedule. There's a lot in flux. Next month, the recurring schedule will make a stronger comeback. I do have a lot going on for work this month. It's nothing like major. Like before, when I was super busy with work, I was just working on this one massive project. This, I have just like a lot of little odds and ends. I'm covering for someone while they're on vacation. I have like a couple of blogs that I've written. So it's nothing like super big or time consuming, but the list looks really full just because I have a lot of little projects this month. And then also some appointments to schedule, not super much. One of my big focuses for this month is getting that 10-year anniversary trip that my husband and I are planning to take with the kids planned and booked and all settled in. I'm really excited for that. So stay tuned for more on that. Hopefully, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. And then this little space down here, I just used for decoration. You got to have a little decorative touch in the planner. So I've been doing like a quote box down here, and I kept it pretty beachy. This one, I just went with like another Pinterest quote, if you will, and some of the beachy washies. The other thing that I did want to say about the family organizer is this is coming back. This planner has not been discontinued or anything. So the mid-year versions will be out soon. I don't know what the exact date is. So if you want an academic year, start one, and then they'll come back again in in the fall for the calendar year one. So this is a calendar year one. I don't know what the new designs in there will be or anything like that yet, but stay tuned if this is a planner you've been looking to pick up. It is still coming, and as well, I think the insides look like fairly similar / exactly the same as last year. It's just like a new colorway. So in this section over here, this is kind of like my goals translation page, if you will. So I do a lot of like monthly task listing here. And then I have got like some big picture stuff. I just went with 3 this month. And these are like the big 3 themes for the month, or the things that we're working on. So you can see that 10-year anniversary trip that we're working on planning. We are working on our basement renovation. We're in the permitting phase right now. And then just admin, like life admin stuff has been so out of control lately. Really trying to stay on top of it. So that is my other big thing. And especially with how busy things are this month and how much schedules keep shifting and everything, it's just like really important to just stay on top of all of those admins, keep track of all of the events. I literally like woke up, bolted up in the middle of the night last night because I thought I had a dentist appointment today and like didn't have it written in my planner / time to go to it, but I don't. It's at the end of the month. So yeah, admin is very much on my mind, and scheduling. And then we've just got a monthly task list. A lot of that stuff came from my Moxie Life video, my goals. That video is already up, but just adding in some more detail around like the actual implementation of those goals. So a little bit more task oriented than goal oriented. Then this is my school page. I split it just elementary, MPTA, and then preschool, but mostly what's going on right now is I just have a ton of year-end treasurer stuff. So I'm the treasurer for our public school PTA, and it's like the end of the budgeting year. I gotta file taxes over the summer and all of that. Our PTA is like a 501c, like nonprofit organization. So there's just like a lot of paperwork that needs to be done at the end of the year to make sure everything's all set up for next year. So mostly that is what I'm working on, just like closing out all of the books and everything for the school year. And I am continuing on as the treasurer for next year. It's a 2-year term, although I do think people end up serving for longer sometimes, and I really enjoy being the treasurer. It feels really, really helpful to the school and to the organization, and also I just really like finances and financial planning and spreadsheets and stuff like that, so it's really fit for purpose. And then I've got some key school dates here. It's mostly stuff from the calendar, but some stuff that I don't put in the calendar, like theme days, dress up days, class parties, stuff like that. And then the next set of this is my journaling space. So I've moved the way that I've done things on this set of pages and the previous set of pages to make one like all kiddo focused, school focused, functional, and then this one is all journaling, memory keeping. So where I've got those initials, those are my kids' initials, and I do like one milestone, highlight something, achievement for each of the kids that I journal, and then I have just a little bit of journaling space, and then this whole page becomes my book log, my book journal, which I've just so enjoyed doing the book journaling. It's been a really, really fun way to, like, I don't know, it gets like a little extra mile after reading. And actually the whole point that I started this was so that I wouldn't accidentally reread mediocre books, which was a huge problem for me last year. I had so many books where I reread the same thing by accident because the description sounded good and got like halfway through it and was just like, I definitely already read this and didn't really like it. So anyway, that has not happened at all this year. And then on the blank pages, one, I just do what I call my group listing page, and on the other one, I leave blank for the pictures. Okay, now we've got everything on the page for June, so let's take one last flip through of my spreads. We've got my calendar, just really loving the washies that I picked with the very sandy color for June. Very into that combination. I think it looks really beachy, which is very much where my mind's at. We've got our recurring schedule lightened up because of summer schedule transition month. I don't really feel like we have very many things that are recurring this month. And then appointments and work stuff going on. There is a lot of stuff going on there, and we've got our monthly task list, which I may actually add a few more things to that as new things come up. There's still a lot in flux with those house projects, and we've got our kind of big picture focus for the month, and as well as some of my habits listed out. I was saying this, I was actually chatting with a planner friend before about how I like love every element of this planner kind of except for this. It doesn't really make sense to me to have a weekly habit tracker in a monthly planner. I feel like they should do like the little mini calendars instead. I feel like that would be really cool. So I think I'll put that in the survey for next year. Yeah, I usually use this just as reference. I don't actually track habits in there. Then we've got our school list, which I kind of consolidated for this one, but I just have a lot of year-end treasurer stuff going on, and school is about to be out in the other places, so not a lot going on other than that. Our dates to remember, camp prep, we gotta get all of our supplies. And then we've got my journaling space set up, so June reads, and then we've got my journaling space and my milestones there as well. Then again, our split listing page, which we will get to if we need it, and hopefully with some home projects definitely going in here. And then this one, again, I'm gonna leave completely blank and do the picture spreads. And then we've got, again, our guided memory keeper and our line a day memory keeper all set up. So that is everything for my June setup, and that is everything for today's video. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know in the comments down below, and also don't forget to subscribe. You can also check me out on Instagram and TikTok at My Crafty Plans for even more planner fun, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye!